I'll be showing you guys today is some Forza Horizon 6 results from my RX 9070 XT Taichi OC. Now I did have results for other graphics cards coming soon, but I didn't get to finish all of them, so I'll publish the RX 9070 Taichi OC results here. You'll be seeing some benchmark footage at the end with a couple of different graphics settings. Literally be seeing numbers on the performance for each resolution on each graphics setting, and there'll be some VRAM usage numbers at the end as well. I will be making a follow-up video later with gameplay footage and as well with the other graphics cards I've skipped. Before we start, let's head over to our sponsor Keysfan.com for cheaper Windows keys. Keysfan.com are currently having a special deal sale. If you use code BEZ52, you'll get 52% off a Windows license. This includes Windows 11 Pro, Windows 10, Windows 11 IoT, and LTSC licenses, which is pretty cool that they offer it. If we scroll down a little bit more, they're also offering 62% off Microsoft Office licenses. And if you guys would like as well, they have a Microsoft Office and Windows 11 Pro bundle included as well using code BEZ62. Now they've recently let me know that they also have a new product called the Office 2024 Pro Plus license key. So if we go ahead and add this to cart, view cart, then we use apply discount code 52. Cool, there we go. We got Microsoft Office 2024 Pro Plus for $1869 US. Let's go ahead and proceed to checkout. Press update. Then we're gonna go ahead and place our order. And as we can see here, they have a secure PayPal checkout, which is awesome to see. So if you guys want cheaper Windows operating system licenses as well as Microsoft Office keys, go ahead and check them out in the description, keysfan.com, for cheaper Windows keys. Starting us off on 1080p, we can see at very low settings we achieve 370 FPS and 224 for our 1% lows. When we kick it up to something like extreme with ray tracing, we go down to 102 and 90 for 1% lows. There is a slight wee randomness here, and it's just the high RT result being a higher result in performance than the extreme one, which is kind of interesting here, but that kind of makes sense because we've dropped the overall graphics settings to high but turned on ray tracing. But overall, pretty happy with all the results here if you guys want high refresh rates. Next up is 1440p, and we're pretty much still continuing with the high refresh rate theme. You know, if we're sitting on around about high for our graphics setting, we're getting 196 FPS and 157 for the 1% lows, which is not too bad at all. As we can see, when we go down from ultra to extreme to the RT settings, we do drop quite a bit of frames, which is expected, but I will say it's still very much playable and looked very smooth even on extreme RT on 1440p, 75 FPS as we saw here, and 66 for our 1% lows. It looks smooth on the screen as well, so no real issues here at all. Lastly, we have 4K, so 4K settings are pretty good, even on the RX 9070 XT. So mind you, this is with no upscaling. Our worst result here is the extreme RT setting as expected at 42 FPS for average FPS and 37 for 1% lows. It was a little bit choppy from what I could feel when I was benchmarking, so I'd probably stay away from that one at least at 4K, or turn on upscaling if you guys would like, because this is all native TAA. At 4K, if you really want something ultra competitive, very low is obviously an option, or even a middle ground like the high settings. In any case, at 4K, I think you're still pretty much good to go on the RX 9070 XT. We're going to have a quick look at VRAM as well. So at 1080p, our extreme and RT settings on, we went up to 11.18. Now ultra RT was slightly higher than extreme, so at 9.79, which actually makes sense. And we also have obviously very low there at 5.5, and we are missing the low results. I really apologize for that. I will be adding that in a future video, so it's not displayed here. Next up, we have 1440p, so every single result is here for VRAM, so nothing's missing. 11.3 on Extreme and RT, which makes sense, we're going up slightly in resolution, but again, nothing's that's hitting the 16GB limit. But as you can see, it is a little bit of an issue. For cards that have 8GB of VRAM, you really are pushing that buffer limit quite hard. And lastly, we have 4K, and almost every single result here is nearing 8GB, so medium and high are definitely reaching almost the 8GB limit there for 8GB cards. And I do have to note as well, very low and low are missing on this chart, so do apologize for that in advance. As we saw, Forza Horizon 6 handled pretty well on every graphics setting, including 4K, even with the extreme RT setting, still getting around about 42 FPS or so, although these were all tested on TAA, so you can definitely add some upscaling if you'd like as well. If you'd like to try out a graphics setting for the RX 9070 XT, I would highly recommend this one from Hardware Unbox. It actually played quite nicely, although I have not included this result here. I would say you're pretty much good to go on every graphics setting, on every resolution for the RX 9070 XT. That about sums up the video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Check out wisetech.org for some more awesome content, but other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!